Hey guys, we're here today. My wife has this Hyundai Elantra 2013 that it has this issue. If you guys can get to the camera here and here, it has that clicking noise when we turn on the steering wheel. So I researched a lot online, and a mechanic told me that it was the rack and pinion of the vehicle, and it was gonna cost me, part and everything, it cost me about $600-700. But there was something that kept telling me it can't be the rack and pinion because I had changed different parts already. So I kept researching and found some information that another guy had, and it happens to be this small little part. This cost me $13 in Advanced Auto Parts. So we're about to take the whole steering wheel apart and find this part and show you guys how to fix this problem if you have the same problem. Like I say, it's more interior than outside. The noise, it's more in here in the power in the steering wheel. So we're gonna find out. First, we're gonna take these two plastic covers off. We're gonna take these covers off, and then we're gonna show you guys some wiring that needs to be disconnected before you continue in taking off the steering column. Guys, so in order to unscrew these plastic covers, there's a screw here, and there's a screw on the other side, and there's a screw at the bottom. So you have to turn on your car so you can move the steering wheel and be able to unscrew it. Now I researched that this problem, the Hyundai Sonatas also have it. So if you do have a Hyundai Sonata 2000, I believe 11, 12, 13, and 14, you may have the same problem. So here's another screw for this bottom plastic. So all you're trying to do is just unscrew the part so you can able to move them around and have enough space. Okay. All right. So once you take the screws off, the side ones and the bottom, you can see they pop up the top one. Kind of move it or jiggle it around a little bit. You gotta be careful not to break it. You can lower the steering wheel a little bit so it can come out. Then the bottom part, take out like this. See? So of course, put it somewhere where it doesn't break. On this particular one, there's like a leather covering that's attached. So you have to be careful and not to rip it. So it has all these little. So on these, like I said, it has this leather attached to this plastic. So these little clips that you see here are right here. So you have to unclip it, and after you unclip it, you have these green tabs here. So you have to squeeze them, and then from the top, pull them up. See, they come up from the top. Okay. So like I said, squeeze with a needle nose pliers and pop them up. And I'll show you how. Once I take it off, I'll show you how it'll show. Okay, so you're gonna have to work to squeeze the plastic. There it goes. So then it comes out. So you see, has these 4 little plastics in there. Once you take the tabs out of there, out of this leather strip, you can push them here and then they pop out. And this is the top part. Okay, so now, kind of hide it up there, get it out the way. So now what we have to do is show you the wiring. So there's different kinds of plugs. All of these plugs here that have wires that are connected to the steering wheel, you have to unplug them, so that way when you pull the steering column out, there'd be no problem. All right, so after you've taken these plastic covers from the steering wheel, you have to take this one out. So there's a screw over here. There's the screws in there, so you have to remove this plastic from the side, which you can use a flat screwdriver and just pop them out slowly. Be careful not to break them. See, it has these white clips right here, and it just clips onto these holes here in this section. So you have to, now we're gonna unscrew this screw, because you can't take this handle off if you don't unscrew this sideways. You're gonna be pulling it and pulling it, it won't come off. So these are the screws that have to come off of that area. It just doesn't come off like it's supposed to. You put another screw, because it has those clips here, so you have to unclip it so they can come off. See, there it goes. See how, and then be careful not to just pull it, because there's clips everywhere. You just gotta wiggle it around so you can see where the clips are. You don't want to break one of the clips. See, I'm taking it off. And then this plug is connected here, and it's stuck. So the way to do it is, there's these little clips with a flat screwdriver. You push it in, and it comes off of here. So it's like that. Once you take it off, it's completely off. Okay, so these are the wires that you're gonna disconnect. Most of them, you can use a flat screwdriver, push in the little plastic, and then pop them out. Okay, just be real careful. Some cars are different. You know, try to figure it out, how the best way to unclip them. You don't want to break one of these. It'll still connect, but you know, it's gonna be kind of loose. So now we have to take this metal bracket out of here, so the steering wheel will drop once but you're gonna use a 10mm socket. And then it drops. Alright, so we have most of the wires already unplugged. So this is your AC and heater vent for your feet. So this goes up like this, and it has a screw here holding it. That's all you have to put. Unscrew it, and then it pops out. So you have to make sure that you try to get most of these wires unplugged, because the steering column will drop, and you don't want to mess up one of these wires or anything like that. So be careful with that. The steering column is has 4 bolts, 2 in the front, which they're up here, 1, 2, and keep just loosen them up a little bit in the front. Don't take them off completely. So it's a size 12. Loosen them up. This one here, and then the other one, it's somewhere over here. There it is. Just loosen them up. Okay, so like I said, there's two bolts here, and they're screwed up to the top. So once it's a size 12, once you unscrew that, the steering column can come out. But like I said, you have to have all these wires unplugged so they can come out. So I'm gonna show you what happens when you don't unplug all the wires. So you see this, it comes out, but I have wires here stuck that I have to take out, because if I don't, you see, that comes out with a flat screwdriver. So then you're able to remove it, and as you see, you still have another one. Okay, so you have to follow it. So as you see, this one still here, flat screwdriver. Inside there's a little clip. that you have to push inward, and then once you push inward, it comes out, which is this little clip here. You push it in like that, then you pull it out. Okay? So now you have the whole thing out. Alright? Gotta be careful, don't damage it. Okay? At the same time, you always have to make sure when you start this that your tires are straight, so you won't lose an alignment on it. So when you put it back, steering wheel has to be straight, and we'll show you that when we put it back. Right, so we took the 2 bolts, pull the steering wheel off. There's a bolt back here that's kind of hidden. I'll show you once this is off, but it's kind of tight, and it's a size 14, and it's pointing like this, straight up. So right behind these wires, if you go under, you can check it out yourself. Like I said, this is a 2013, so it's probably different. I know in a 2010 or 11, I think it has 2 bolts in the back, like I previously mentioned. This one just has 1. It's kind of tricky, so I'll show you once. It's a long bolt, so it's gonna take a while. Just get it with my hands. Yeah. You kind of hold this with your left hand. See, it's already kind of dropping, so you gotta be real careful. Just wiggle it around. Don't lose that washer. And this part right here goes with it. So you see, now we're able to drop it completely. So be careful, don't mess with that part. So what we're looking for is this. All right, so now as you see, we dropped it down already. You don't have to disconnect it from here. We got most of the wires out. So now this is the part that needs to pop out, so you can see this coupling on there. I don't have a big enough Allen wrench, so I'm using my drill. It's a T30. See, all the gunk, the plastic part is completely gone. This part here, let me take it out of the bag, goes in here, and as you can see, it is completely gone. So you gotta make sure that you clean all this out from here and from here. That way there's nothing on there, and then that way you can put the new one back in there. Look, I'm about to take it out. Look, you see the way it was looking. So this is kind of like a rubbery kind of part. This is more hard plastic, so it'll probably last a little bit longer. But gotta make sure it does fit, and it does. So now I'm gonna clean all this part out really good, as best as I can. That way there's no dirt. But this is what was causing the clicking sound, especially if you hear the clicking more in your steering wheel, not in the bottom of your car. So if it was at the bottom of the car, it would probably be the rack and pinion. Like I said, we're cleaned up a little bit. We put this back in the slot where it's supposed. Make sure that you do take the old one out. It's gonna look something like that, crushed up. And now to put it back on, you have to make sure that you might have to turn it a couple of times different ways so it can go in and lock in like that. Once it locks in, of course you put in Now we put that back, the new part back up. Now we have to just reassemble everything. First thing you have to do is, it's gonna be kind of heavy, pick this back up and make sure that this goes in the same, and it goes in here. Look, if you guys can look in the camera, there's a, do the flashlight. So you see this part right here, this metal part. Okay, you see this metal part? That's where it goes here. if you guys see here, that's what you got to put back up there, and then you have to slide this in there and tighten it up. And once you tighten it up, you're good. Okay, so this actually goes, this goes first, and then the washer like this. Okay, so once you tighten it, it tightens it up and it holds it. Then you pick it back up, and then you're gonna tighten the 2 bolts that you took away the first time off, and then that you're holding, and then you just have to make sure that you put everything back, clip all the electrical wires back to where they belong. All right, guys. So now I'm trying to put this back. Like I said, you see this big metal, solid part here, that goes in here. It kind of helps you hold it a little bit. It is heavy, so you gotta find a way where you guys can maneuver it better. Okay, and then once you have that, you have to put this bolt across. So let's try it. There it goes. See, you gotta jiggle it around once that solid thing is holding. Jiggle it around so that kind of holds it. It's not tight. So now you just have to kind of tighten it up. Okay, so now we put the bolt back on there. It's on. So now you have to put all the wiring back. Sure everything. Double check yourself that you connect everything, because if you don't, what's gonna happen is you're gonna get an error from the computer, check engine light or something, and then you're gonna think something else is wrong. So double check yourself with all the wiring. That's what I'm about to do. So we we plugged in all the wiring on the back part of it. All of this is for the actual steering column that we pulled out. We put in the plastic for the heater and the AC for your feet. You put that back with that 1 screw. Then we put this metal bracket back on there with 5 screws to 10 millimeter. They're back up. So now we're gonna work on putting the actual steering wheel on there. Just remember to put it in straight. Your wheels are already straight, and it goes in there to in here. It locks in there. All that grease, don't clean it up because it needs a little bit of grease. Get all these wires out of the way. And remember, the 2 bolts that are holding it go here, and they tighten up to the top, from the bottom. Has a way of jiggling it. Jiggle a little bit until it kind of locks in there. Okay. So remember, this rubber goes up like that. So now you have it up. Now you have to put the bolts from the bottom. If you want to pick it up, just pick it up like that. And then there's a locking mechanism here. Actually, since this doesn't have the bolts, it won't hold. So from the bottom, you have to hold it and screw them. Okay, so then after that, again, you just have to make sure you plug everything back into where it belongs. Right here. And make sure you hear them click. That's very important. If you don't hear them click, then it won't work properly. Now make sure that if you see here, because it just happened to me, I was pushing in these clips here, and then there's this plastic round thing here, kind of holds them. So as I push them, they unclipped. So make sure that this is set in the right place. You click them back on. Okay. So you put all the wiring back where they belong. You set the steering wheel to where it belongs. So right here is the bolts that goes. Is that one here, and the other one goes. You gotta pick it up, and then the other one goes right there. Okay, so that's where your bolts go. All right, guys. So everything's plugged in. Everything It's tying up. The bolts in the bottom are tightened up. Now, as you can see, the noise is gone. See that? Completely gone. So now you have to do, just double check yourself. Everything's tightened up the way it's supposed to be. You don't want to leave anything loose. And just put everything back, you know, the way you took it out. So this goes first, then the top and the bottom go last. And just make sure that you tighten everything up, and that should fix your problem. Everything's back where it belongs. We put these panels back. We put the bottom and the top. It's screwed on there already. Everything's good. Everything's connected. We put the side panel back already. So again, so you can see it. The noise is completely gone. Okay, so I mean, it should take you about an hour and a half. But like I say, you know, you'll save yourself some money. It's not that hard. And again, this is a 2013 Hyundai Elantra. I know the Sonatas have the same issue. 2012, 2011. So if you do have one, just take a look at it and you can fix it yourself. The tools you're gonna need is, you're gonna need a 12 socket, a 14, and a 12, a 10, and a 14. Those are 3 sockets you're gonna need for this car. Ratchet extensions, screwdrivers. You know, if you have power tools, then you use power tools. It's up to you. So that's all you're gonna need. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Like I said, I'll be posting more and more videos of different things to do around the house and how to fix your car, how to change oil, how to do different things. So check out the next video. I appreciate you watching, and God bless.